Well, can you believe it? Exactly 1 year ago today, I walked into this place as the new owner of Bent Plastics, and time has absolutely flown. Just reflecting back on some of the old videos and some of my old thoughts, like it really seems so long ago, but it really wasn't that long ago. And I think some of the stresses and concerns I had, it's really actually quite hard to remember what some of them were, as I've just been head down, bum up, all day, every day, making things and loving every minute of it, to be honest. So just going through some of the numbers, I think in one of my last videos, it had been a couple of months and I said we'd done 500 orders. We have done 3,120 separate orders in the last 12 months. That works out to be spot on to exactly 60 orders every week that we pump out from this place. And yes, some of those orders are very simple pieces of acrylic, polycarbonate, rectangles, some of them with weird cutouts, some of them quite simple, but also some of those orders are 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 parts that are CNC machined on the machines behind me, or they're cut and folded pieces of polypropylene like these, or they're machine guards going to some of our business customers like these down here. So yes, 3,120 is a huge number. Not everything's big, not everything requires much design, but also quite a large number of those do. So I think in one of my last videos I said, this place really is design on steroids. To do 60 individual projects every week, almost every single one of those has some element of CAD, customer interaction, some sort of detailing, thought about materials and manufacturing process, tolerancing, all sorts of things that go into the much larger industrial design projects I'm more familiar with from my past, but in a really, really short time frame. I guess one of the real highlights for me is just being on the go and having so many different projects at any one time. Business really hasn't slowed down, which was really my biggest thing was coming into buying a business was, instead of starting my own, I just wanted to come in, hit the ground running with something and not lose customers, not slow down the business, which has been here for 25 years. And I'm really happy to say that hasn't happened. Things have been motoring along really, really well. The numbers have worked out to be exactly where I expected them to be in a 12-month period. So that's been fantastic. It's actually quite a load of stress off to feel like I haven't let the previous owners down, and the name of Bent Plastics still is really great. Getting some good 5-star Google reviews, so that's been wonderful as well, just to see that customers still value the work that we're doing here. Some of the changes I've already talked about in other videos, but you can see up behind me here, that's our laser cutter that's now been here for six months, I'd say. And I think it had probably paid itself off within the first 2 months at most, probably a little bit shorter. So that's been a really worthwhile investment. We've also got a 3D scanner here now, which is a brand new toy to better capture some of the templates and tricky things people bring to us to design and make. One of the earliest things we brought in was just some upgrades in terms of how you run a business. So digitizing what were previously very paper-based old school processes that you'd expect from a retiring couple. So things like Trello to do all of our project management. I've got every bit of CAD software under the sun. Rhino has been invaluable. SolidWorks gets a bit of use. Fusion 360, all the Adobe products. So we've got access to everything here, which is really just modernize what we can do, improve some of the services we can provide customers, much more in the upfront design rather than just manufacturing, and also just trying to improve all of the record keeping, because previously everything had been kept in filing cabinets on pieces of paper. So just trying to slowly digitize as we go through project. We've got new staff here, so it's actually quite a new team, which is working out really well. Lots of new ideas. Everyone's quite keen to see this business grow, interested in the new technologies we could bring in, like new CNC machines and other bits and pieces. So I think that's going to help us continue just, with momentum moving forward, is having a good, energetic little team around us. And I think the last thing I'd say, which is the big win, is as a designer, being able to design, manufacture and hand your product to a customer at the end of each day. It's really great to have customers coming in and giving you feedback on the spot, giving you a Google review later, or coming back as a repeat customer because they really appreciated what you do. So that's definitely the biggest thing about being a designer and manufacturer all in one place, is you just get that whole experience, and you get it, as I said, about 60 times a week somewhere like this. So that's been wonderful. In terms of some of the challenges, I think My challenge really is just being probably like a lot of business owners is you have to be able to do it all. And sometimes that's to your detriment. You know, a machine breaks down, which it did today. Our little tech cell over here just really wouldn't start, lots of errors. Staff will do what they can, but no one pushes as hard as you do as the business owner, knowing how much it costs you for a machine to be down, not running, not producing parts. Being the guy at the end of a Friday, everyone else has had a beer and gone home, and I'm stuck here finishing off cleaning the toilet, vacuuming the floors, all those sorts of things. So, but I also love it as well. Like this has become now my place, and I do try and look after it. But I know I have to be able to let go. The biggest challenge is just having the freedom to be able to live life a little bit. I've had a few chances to go on holidays, and I think in many ways they've almost been more stress than they've been worth. Just the calls you get from the team, things that are going wrong, things that they don't understand or that don't make sense. So I think that's one problem I really have to try and solve in the next 12 months is to be better hands off, to have the team here who, as I said, most of them are still quite new, but having them able to fill all those gaps, and for me to be able to focus a bit more on the business and growing things. Moving forward, that's really what I do want to do. I don't want to grow things too crazy, but I want to be able to improve the services we can offer, be more efficient so we can make more in the space that we have, but also really excited to explore maybe adding a sister business in future, something that partners really well with the plastic work we do here. I'm 40 now, and I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. This has been really great. I'm enjoying every day. I don't know what the future holds, but I think this transition away from working for people to being my own boss and still designing and making every day has been really awesome. So thanks for everyone's support over the last year. I know a lot of my friends and former colleagues have become customers, so that's really awesome. And also I've just had a lot of support from you guys who watch these videos and asked me to make sure I definitely did a 1-year update after my last 6-month one. So thank you very much again.